Okay, so once again, good evening everyone. So this time our topic of course is data privacy and security in data mining, no? This topic actually is very interesting, especially right now, no, especially today. And I think we need also to consider some ethical, security, legal, and privacy concerns of data mining, no? Again, data mining is a powerful new technology with great potential to help companies focus on the most important information in the data they have collected about the behavior of their customers and potential customers. So it discovered information within the data that queries and reports can effectively reveal. No? So the amount of data stored in a corporate database exploding, no, from trillions of point of sales transaction and credit card purchases to pixel by pixel images of Galaxy's database are now measured in gigabytes and terabytes. No? Raw data by itself, however, does not provide much information. And in today's fiercely competitive business environment, companies need to rapidly turn these terabytes of raw data into significant insight into their customers and markets to guide their marketing investment. Again, data mining or knowledge discovery is the computer-assisted process of digging through and analyzing enormous sets of data and then extracting the meaning of the data, and data mining tools predict behaviors and future trends, allowing businesses to make proactive knowledge-driven decisions. Now, so data mining tools can answer business questions that traditionally were too consuming to resolve. They score databases for hidden patterns, finding predictive information that expert may miss because it lies outside their expectation. Again, data mining derives its name from the similarities between searching for valuable information in large database and mining a mountain for a bin of valuable ore. No, both processes required either sifting through an immense amount of material or intelligently proving it to find when or where the values reside. So frequently, the data to be mined is first extracted from the enterprise data warehouse into a data mining database or data mart. The data mining database may be a logical rather than a physical subset of your data warehouse. Okay, to give us more details about the topic, I just want to play a video presentation of our presenter for this evening. So if you have some verification, comments, suggestion, additional input, do not hesitate to push your question in our chat box, okay? Then our presenter could able to address all your queries or your concern.
A pleasant evening, Professor Abante and classmates. This is Oswald Dungalen. Today I'm going to discuss about data mining and data warehousing privacy and security. Okay, so let's begin with understanding of data warehousing and data mining privacy and security. So a software application known as a data warehouse or DWH gathers business data from many sources. It is a repository. To put it simply, data is stored, accessible quickly, and helps in analysis. Data mining is process of sorting through large data sets to identify patterns and establish relationships to solve problems through data analysis. It's also important to protect the data warehouse and data mining. Data warehousing and data mining privacy are similar to this aspect in other systems. Protected apps should restrict unauthorized access and hacker attacks while allowing employees to access the necessary data as they required it. However, too strict access would interfere with users working with the information seamlessly. Before creating databases, business owners should be concerned about the security of the company's and users' data. Pay close attention to how you intend to use the data. For instance, warehouse focus on selling data should feature separated access levels for each client Internally, workbases should prioritize efficient and error-free procedures at the same time. So moreover, security always has an impact on performance. So for the private, let's discuss about the privacy issues. The concern about the personal privacy have been increasing enormously, enormously recently, especially when internet is booming with social networks, e-commerce, forums, and blogs. Because of privacy issue, people are afraid of their personal information is collected and used in an ethical way that potentially causing them a lot of troubles. Businesses collect information about their customers in many ways for understanding their purchasing behavior trends. However, businesses don't last forever. Some days they may be acquired by other or gone. At the same time, the personal information they own probably is sold to other or leaked. And for security issues, security is a big issue. Businesses own information about their employees and customers, including social security number, birthday, payroll, and etc. However, how properly this information is taken care is still in questions. There have been a lot of cases that hacker access and stole big data of customer from big corporations. With so much personal and financial information available, the credit card stolen and identified theft become a big problem. Misuse of this collected information through data mining and data warehousing intended for ethical purposes can be misused. This information may be exploited by unethical people or businesses to take benefits of vulnerable people or discriminate against a group of people. Okay, so let's look the current issue of data mining and data warehousing, modeling and protection. So issue of data mining and data warehousing, modeling and protection regarding the significance of training, a balance between smooth and access and security measures. There are few points. There are classification tasks, how to define the user cluster to provide them correct access. This point may include employees only or add customer and partners too. And next one is encryption methods. It's all about tech things. Managers should get the best software or hardware combination to keep low cost and set high quality. And next is extraction question. Databases not only store info but allow users to view it, exchange, upload, and download it. Security measures should consider these weak links. And performance influence. The more complicated and protected a system is, the more resources it requires. Heavy loads lead to crashes, the potential, and other leaks. To deal with the listed challenges and become at least a cyber intermediate, businesses should start with the architecture of the planned system. Okay, for data warehousing and data mining architecture aspects, building a robust and secure platform from the scratch is way easier than redesigning it later to improve data warehousing and data mining privacy. Add new features or add more security layers. Naturally, businesses expand by bringing on new clients or partners. New data sources and access levels are produced as a result of this procedure. Without proper initial planning, we will need to add protective measure and set access for all the new partners which will require extra resources. Therefore, let's think about how to build a reliable database at the beginning. According to the data warehouse modeling, there are key activities to remember. So first is user accesses. So to start with, there are system of access layers. They can be set based on different criteria, sample data types, job functions, the company's hierarchy, or employees' roles. When you design the warehouse or data mining, you should think about about data people will access, then classify both information and end users. And there are two data classification approaches. First is sensitivity based, which is highly sensitive personal information will be more restricted while generic data will be available to more users. And number two is function based. Specific user categories will be able to access only the data they need for their work. Other information will be blocked. And the two user classification methods. And first in hierarchy based, this model is suitable for enterprises with few departments. Thus, you can create data marts with unique accesses for each team. And next is role based. Number two is role based. If a company has a lot of branches with the same data required, it's better to set accesses based on roles, administrators, developers, analysis, and etc. Okay. So in choosing one way or combining with several of them, managers can build a comprehensive yet scalable data warehouse and mining architecture. Remember that new data or user types may appear over time and use universal classes. And for the data load and movement, most often data is compromised when an employee accesses it. Sometimes hackers get quicker access to restricted area when the packages are uploaded and or downloaded. Also, worker can steal sensitive info directly. Say in April 2019, more than 540 million private records from online social media were found on the public online retail cloud servers. It's a bright example of poor security during data exchange between platforms. To keep the data warehouse and data mining privacy at high level, answer questions related to different aspects of data mining. And they are: where are the basic files stored? Who has access to these directories? Are there backups? How are they stored and who has access to them? And how do you work with temporary data? And where are the query results stored? The same security rules must be followed regardless of the type of data. Regular employees, for instance, frequently have access to temporary tables that contain confidential information by making a query. This is unacceptable. And for network requirements, we should not overlook tech-related issues in addition to users and data security. Designing and connecting dependable infrastructure is made possible by data warehouse and data mining modeling. Plan the data flow inside the company. The method you'll use to send and receive information and the type of encryption you'll employ to keep your network secure if there's any. Data science professionals work with a lot of systems based on a poor data warehouse architecture. One of the most common issues refers to poor scalability. Enterprises use advanced encryption methods, but forget that large data packages require more processing power over time. Because of this, it's essential to plan structure before building a data warehousing and data mining. So, well, now let's move to the best practices to reach top safety. So, building reliable, safe, and powerful data warehouse or data mining is definitely possible despite main challenges and variety of concern to expect. We also provide a list of effective proven approaches for maintaining complete security. This option could be divided in two types most fundamental level, hardware of physical measures, and software-based ones. For the hardware, let's emphasize the hardware physical measures and software-based. So for the hardware, physical condition and protection of your database may look less important than digital sides. However, they also form a crucial security level. All software decisions would be obsolete if a fraudulent employee could access the data warehouse physically and damage or steal valuable information. Hardware-focused solutions come down to 3 points. Okay, first is control physical access to the warehouse. For this, advanced identification method exists. Biometric, biometric readers, scanners, cameras, and other devices can successfully prevent unauthorized access to the server. Second is set standardized security protocols to ensure that all the employees and guests, if needed, know the company's protocol. They should obey these rules all the time. Standards should be clear, understandable, and effective yet justified. Then number three is use only reliable hardware pieces. Old systems may fail to provide reliable security because of simply hardware issues. Servers often go down at the high loads, processors literally burn, and whole network disable, making it easier to break in. So while great physical data warehousing and data mining privacy is frequently needed, especially huge companies should invest on physical defense. Okay, for the software, the main battle between cybersecurity specialists and hackers take place in the digital world. Hardware acts as a basement, but the software is a key factor. The most useful and the most useful. So let's look the most useful safeguard that refer to data warehouse and data mining architecture, access point, and users. So data encryption. The most basic protection layer provides for using encryption methods to make data unreadable for outsiders. It's obligatory to encrypt info on transactional basis. Moreover, it's better to use encryption and a basic data warehouse and data mining too. For this, you may use AES algorithms and software certified with FIPS 140-2. Data movement protection and last is data movement protection. Today, a lot of data is stored in cloud system. Surely, businesses have to move it, share with partners, copy, and so on. To protect on the movement data, use traditional protocols, which is examples SSL and TSL. Also try to integrate VPNs for even higher safety online. Data classif and also data classification for the software. According to the mentioned user accesses, all the data in warehouses should be classified. Feel free to use the method you like the most, by function, by departments, etc. Data partitioning is required too. It's based on the idea of sensitivity and separates the most sensitive information from other package. And the role-based control. In addition to data classification, remember about user roles and privilege. Set rights for different classes so unauthorized employees could not make SQL requests. create temporary tables, or download data. Be sure to protect the administrator profiles perfectly as they can grant and disable access for the other users. And for the virtual private database, which is VPDS, these tools allow setting security measures on tables, views, words, rows, columns, and more. VPDS limit accesses dynamically and attach protection to each object instead of the whole base. With this feature, uh, bank customer would see only their transaction and employees only their salaries. Okay, and these are the top software security measures for protecting data warehouse and data mining privacy. So the data encryption, data movement protection, data classification, role-based control, virtual private database, and consider to figure in a cost. Much like with hardware protection, don't spend money on expensive solution if the risk of damage is low. You simply don't need them. Think about the reputational losses as well. And for the conclusion, businesses, society, governments, and individuals all definitely benefit from data warehousing and data mining. Data warehousing and data mining method also has certain accuracy flaws. As a result, major consequences will result if they are not properly addressed and resolved and if decision making is based on inaccurate information. So that's all. Thank you and God bless us all.
Okay, so again, as our presenter mentioned, no, it is important for us to consider even the ethical concerns of data mining because the use of data mining, especially data about people, has serious ethical implications. No? Companies face an ethical dilemma when even deciding if the company should make a person aware his or her information is being stored for future data mining. So by giving a person the option to opt out of data collection, a company can hurt its competitive advantage in a marketplace. So a company must decide if a lack of ethical concern will cause a loss in a goodwill from consumers and suffer from backlash, no, from the company's consumers. So companies who use data mining techniques must act responsibly, no, by being aware of the ethical issues that are surrounding their particular application. They must also consider the wisdom in what they are doing. Let's say, for example, no, data mining sometimes can be used to discriminate people, especially regarding racial, sexual, and religious orientation. So the use of data mining in this way is not only considered unethical, but also illegal. Individuals need to be protected from any unethical use of their personal information. And before they make a decision to provide their data, they need to know how this information will be used. Why is it being used? What parts of the information, of course, are going to be taken, and what consequences this action will have. Because at present, no, our country, no, implementing the Data Privacy Act of 2012. So by doing this, individuals will be informed and told straightforwardly about the reasons and consequence of using their information. Because again, ethical concerns in data mining mentioned previously, the wrong use of data can cause people to fall in unethical issues, which are also considered illegal. So the importance of privacy and individuality has to be valued and believed, protected to make sure that people are treated reasonably. People should be conscious of the significance of the threats and dangers and constantly discuss their ethical issues. Experts considers data mining to be morally neutral. On the other hand, the way that this data is being used may come up with questions and concerns about ethics, and data need to be used in the right purpose to make sure people are safe. a while ago, no, our presenter gave us some security concern in data mining. No, again, data mining is the process of creating a sequence of correct and meaningful queries to extract information from large amounts of data in the database. So as we know, data mining techniques can be useful in recovering problems in data security, database security. However, with the growth of development, it has been a serious concern that data mining techniques can cause security problems. So a lot of security experts see data mining as one of the most primary challenges that consumers will encounter in the next decade. So the definite complexity in data mining is building up accurate models, of course, for data analysis without giving the right to use the information in specific customer records, which will secure the database from being used the wrong way. So developing such models can reduce the security issues that users may face. Security problems in data mining are one of the most popular concerns because of the fact that when using data mining, individuals are usually working with large amount of information and they can have access to it easily. And of course, this is dangerous if this data was not used in a secure way, as data mining guarantees to open up lots of new fields for extracting information from both all databases and future databases, especially if we are migrating our data from old system to another that may be developed with data mining as a support purpose. So the data mining session in some large companies suggest that there can be serious security issues in data mining. While saying this, it is not to recommend that data mining should be illuminated. However, it is to mention security as one of important aspect and issues that should be judged and addressed. Now, data warehousing companies must monitor who has access to the data within and what parts of the data warehouse they have access to. An example of company that allows restricted access to their database warehouse for data mining purposes is Walmart. Now, Walmart has a very extensive database of their stock, stores, and collected data. Companies that have products carried by Walmart are allowed into Walmart's database, and this allows these companies to mine this data for information regarding the sale of their products by restricting the accessibility of these companies to just the products offered by the companies. Walmart shows that it is aware of the concern for security and privacy when it comes to data mining. And of course, there are certain legal and privacy concern of data mining. In data mining, the privacy and legal issues that may result are the main keys to the growing conflicts. So the way in which data mining can be used in raising questions regarding privacy. Every year, the government and corporate entities gather enormous amounts of information about customers, storing it in a data warehouses. Part of the concern is that once data is collected and stored in a data warehouse, who will have access to this information? So oftentimes, a consumer may not be aware that the information collected about him or her is not just shared with who collected the information. So with the technologies that are available today, data mining can be used to extract data from the data warehouses, finding different information and relationship about customers and making connection based on the extraction, which might put customers' information privacy at risk. So data mining necessitates data arrangement that can cover consumers' information, which may compromise confidentiality and privacy. One way for this to happen is through data aggregation, where data is accumulated from different sources and placed together so that they can be analyzed. I don't know if you are also always receiving text, or message, that you won, or you are initially hired, or something like that. So companies such IBM are working on methods of mining data that will allow for complete individual privacy while still creating accurate models of data. So IBM's method has developed a method called privacy preserving data mining. So by randomizing a consumer's personal information before it is ever transmitted using IBM's privacy preserving data mining method, a company can still gather the information. It would like not impeding on its customers' rights of privacy, because it is logical that a lot of companies and governmental agencies need to use data mining as part of their jobs. But the hesitation is if this information is being used the right way. The right way, I mean. So let's say, for example, no, data mining can be helpful for some companies in order to target the right market. So in the technological and the informational age, it looks like the process of getting data about customers and employees is getting a lot easier than it used to before. So the quick transfer of personal information has resulted to identify theft risk and privacy concerns are becoming an important issue in data mining because of the risk behind it. Especially that many of the consumers who buy products or services are not conscious of data mining technology. Especially we are always using Shopee, Lazada, online order through social media, let's say in Jollibee, Shakey's, McDonald's, and so on and so forth. So some consumer who buy their products or service are not conscious of data mining technology. So I think that's it for this topic.